obviously what UCF has done with the program and the way he has built it, it was kind of a no-brainer for me.
Very young defense. A lot of the players you see out there, you're going to have to coach next year.
Yeah, that's very exciting. It is very young, and getting more experience obviously with every game and every day. So, it's going to be exciting to be able to work with them, after this game.
Are there NCAA rules limiting how much input you're able to give and how much you're actually able to do this week? But I mean, now you're actually on staff. It's official, I guess.
Yeah, there aren't any rules, But I'm really here to observe. I mean, I'm not going to be, calling the game or doing anything like that. Those things are for Coach O'Leary to determine. But I'm just excited to be down here and have an opportunity to start to meet the players and get an idea of, what they're all about. And, it gives me kind of a head start to after we get back to Orlando.
Sometimes outside eyes are beneficial. Have you seen anything? Can you help them this week? Will you give tweaks?
Again, I mean, that really is a question for Coach O'Leary. We have not determined, what my role is going to be on January 1st. Thank you.
Trying to match, talk about the run game and the teams that are typically going fast. They're in 10 personnel. They've got 4 wideouts, they've got 5 wideouts, and they're throwing it, and occasionally they run it. This is it's a team that is, like you said, very balanced and have good size on their offensive line, have really good running backs, and a quarterback that knows what he's doing with the ball. So I think that's certainly the challenge that you don't get when you play the other teams that are throwing it 90% of the time. Yes. Terrence first of all is a great kid, and it's really been fun. I got here right after the 2011 season, and as the linebackers coach, and to see his maturation through this period of time, and he's really worked hard in the offseason with his body. I mean, he looks like a totally different person than he did 2 years ago, and he's bulked up. He's heavy enough now where he can sit there and be able to go through an entire season and the banging that goes with it, and being able to, knock on wood, stay injury-free. And I think that's been as much of as anything. He's leads by example every day, whether it's in the off-season, spends more time in the off-season with film than any young man that I've ever been around, and I think that's the thing that brings respect from both the players and the coaches with him, is he could tell you what the corners got on this play. He can tell you what the nose tackles got, and part of that has to do with playing linebacker and being tied with the secondary and the front. But he's been as impressive as anybody, and really excited about having him another year as much as anything, and he needs to play well this week. Well, it was a young group. Like I said, when I got there in 2011, Troy Gray was a true freshman starter that really kind of wound up losing his job last year, to another guy. And there was certainly some depth there, but there were a lot of young guys, who hadn't played a lot of football at this level. And so I think the amount of time that they've spent extra, like I said, in the off season, in the spring, in the summer. What they do during the year, getting done with study hall, and I'll walk across the hall and they're in there, 6 of them watching tape. The secondary, the same way. And I think anytime, you run into what we've kind of done this year, like you said, where there's been a lot of different defensive linemen playing in front of them, that I think that only helps them be able to sit there and know what the fits are, and if there's a mistake, they know how to correct it because they know where the guy should have been. So that's been the blessing with it, with that group of kids, particularly Terrence. I think it's like anything else. I think how they feed off of you as a coach, and I think how you practice, how you handle them. I think the structure that we have in our entire team and what Coach O'Leary brings with the structure that we have, the type of pace and tempo that we practice at, I think builds all those things into being advantageous for us. And I think those young guys, they early on in the season, they might have gotten a little bit overhyped with the Penn States and things like that, but we've played in a lot of big games this year and been able to go on the road and win in some big games. So I think right now, they're just excited about the opportunity to play Baylor.
System, however they're going to handle that. We handled our destiny this year, and it was a great challenge. And now we get to play another great team from across the country. Help build our national base and see us play on like a big ESPN, ABC stage.
How much motivation? You mentioned the fact that you're not really sick of hearing about how good Baylor is because you know that their offense is legit. But
Right.
how much do you take? How much motivation is that you guys are the biggest underdog in the entire bowl season?
Well, I don't really look at it as motivation that we're even the biggest underdog. I just look at it as motivation like this can really change our whole university, our whole culture. We're a young university. We were made in '63, so we're the youngest team to make it to the BCS. And the thing is, what we want to do is we want to win the game because this will set up our university at a whole nother level. Not just about us being underdogs or any of that nature, but just being the guys who can go out there and change a culture around the whole city. That's what's really motivating us.
Do you see a similarity between you guys and Baylor? Because both of you have always been underdogs. Baylor's
Right.
always been counted out. Same thing with you guys being the new program and that sort of thing. Do you see a similarity between you two?
Yeah, definitely. Baylor's a young team too in terms of BCS games and things of that nature and bowl games, just like we are. We're probably a little longer. They're probably a little longer, up in the echelon and everything, but because the conference and everything they played and the guys they've had come through there. But we're on the same level in certain aspects in terms of just being not always looked at as a perennial powerhouse, but as a team who goes out there and works hard and earns everything that they're given.
Baylor has such a unique offense. Have you seen, when you guys look at the film, have you seen anything like this from any of the teams you've played this year?
No, definitely not. They're a great team, great balanced team. They're fast with the run game. It's something new that we haven't. I don't think a lot of teams have seen. And I think that's why they're such an effective squad. So we're just ready for the competition and the challenge. Going against something new and testing our wits against theirs.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Terrence, Baylor's obviously from one of the power conferences, the Big 12. A lot of people think UCF is worthy of being in the league like that. Do you think you guys could compete in a power conference?
I definitely think we do because of our work ethic. We work so hard, and everything that we've got given to us, we earned it, and I don't really worry about if we could go into a power conference. That's up to the guys upstairs and everything. I'm just a player, but as a player, you always think that if you work hard during the week, you work hard during the off season, and you prepare yourself, then you could go out there and play with those big guys. And I think this year, I think we showed that. We went to Penn State, played those guys. We beat those guys at Penn State. We played South Carolina up to the wire. And those are big. Those are like national teams. Everybody knows about. So I've always believed. I always got this thing. You work harder than the man in front of you, you can always beat him. So I think us as UCF, we may not be known for the flashy clothes or the big guys or things like that, but we just work hard. And, we go out there and grind. So that's what I take pride in.
University though, in the TV market you guys are in. UCF seems like it would be a natural for big conference power.
Yeah, we got 60,000 students and everything, but it is what it is. We're in Orlando, Disney World and everything, so we have all type of attractions and stuff. So, I just go out there and play the game, and hopefully, maybe we can inspire people to come out there and like to come watch UCF Knights play.
What's your best story about O'Leary and how tough he is?
Coach O'Leary is just a tough guy, man. He just, I got so many stories about him. One day in practice, a guy came running down the field and he was standing in the middle of the field and literally Coach O'Leary knocked the guy down from knocking him over. So, yeah, he's a tough guy, man. I appreciate everything Coach does for us. He's such a hard worker and he instills that in us, and it just all falls down from there.
So O'Leary got
surprised about, quite frankly, when I arrived in Orlando and saw how young the defense was. So, I mean, that's all this experience that they've gotten from this year and they'll get from this game on Wednesday. It's really exciting for me.
What's the opportunity here mean for this program now that you can coach these players where UCF's growth has been? What does a game opportunity like this mean?
It's a great opportunity. You know, I mean, you just said it. What kind of opportunity? It's a tremendous opportunity to have a chance to come in and be part of a defense that, you know, has had the kind of season they've had this year. So, yeah, and again, the youthfulness of the team makes it even more exciting. So.
You came to Syracuse, what, 1983?
Yes.
What are kind of your first impressions of Coach O'Leary? Were you kind of working with the defensive line with him?
In 1983? Actually, back then, you know, there were 4 graduate assistants, and each graduate assistant was in charge of helping 2 of the coaches, and Coach O'Leary is one of the 2 coaches that I helped. I didn't actually help with the defensive line, but just, you know, day-to-day graduate assistant type things, breaking down film and that kind of thing, you know.
Just from that year, were you ever being impressed with him? Or, I mean, you know, you saw him go through the coaching ranks later in the decade, defensive coordinator, but you coach Georgia Tech, and you look back on it, could you see that?
Absolutely. I sure could. And I was a young guy, but you could just tell, you know, that he was going to be a head coach, and obviously he was a coordinator before that, but, you know, you could just tell that Coach O'Leary was going to move on and you know, get some opportunities, and, you know, the rest is obviously history, you know.
You face UCF, like they're Bowling Green, the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, Dante Culpepper was the quarterback. Yeah, I'll tell you what, the thing I remember the most about that day, we had some pretty good blitzes, but we couldn't get them on the ground, couldn't tackle them. You know, we had some guys coming through a couple times, and we couldn't get them on the ground. But yeah, that was the first time I had, you know, any kind of interaction with UCF.
Did you play a game at UCF?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Probably 96.
Yeah, you probably got a better memory in terms of the year. You know, I spent 8 years at Bowling Green, so I forget what year it was exactly, but yeah, it was. Yeah.
Obviously, a lot's changed, obviously, from 96 to 32 as far as the university goes. I know you said you were there on Christmas Day, probably didn't have a whole lot of time to soak it all in, but what was your impression seeing the campus?
I was very impressed with the facilities. You know, again, I know it's a lot different even from when Coach O'Leary took over the program. So no, I was very impressed with the facilities, and I really didn't know anything about them coming in. You know, so but after, you know, arriving on Christmas Day and walking around and seeing the facilities, I was extremely impressed.
So you coach with Coach O'Leary in the late 90s at Georgia Tech. You just always keep in touch through the years. Did he contact you when the opening became available?
You know, we've kept in touch through the years. Yeah. Again, neither of us are the types that were picking up the phone and talking every month, but we kept in touch over the years, and you know, I certainly followed what he was doing, and I think he had an idea where I was and that kind of thing.
It's kind of your role during this week, you officially begin, you know, your duties after the bowl game, but you're here as an observer, you're at the practices, the meetings, and you're just kind of giving input as you see fit.
I'm really just observing right now, you know. So, you know, what my role will be on Wednesday, that's something you'd have to ask Coach O'Leary.
What are your early impressions of seeing this team and this defense?
I'm extremely impressed, especially with the youth of the defense. You know, that's, you know, somebody asked me that earlier. I mean, that's what's really exciting for me, for the kind of year that UCF has had, and knowing that so many of the players are going to be back. I mean, that's really exciting.
Have you seen, you know, this Baylor speed and the splits and everything? How unique is this?
Oh, it's unique for sure. It's going to be a tough thing to defend. You know.
Tempo-wise, how different are they from, I guess, yourselves?
You know what? I'm not. You know, I've been around this program for 4 days now, so it's not like I've been involved in the game plan. So I'd rather not, you know, comment on that. All right. Thank you. How are you? You too.
good job of playing within ourselves, and just if you go back to old school football 101, that I learned coaching high school football a long time ago. If you can play good run defense and you can prevent the big play, that usually if you can do those two things fairly well, you usually have a pretty good chance. So, I think that if we're able to do those two things, that's kind of what we've hung our hat on, and that's what we got to continue to.
You lost your defensive coordinator. Is that tough right before a bowl game? Or how are you handling
Coach Fleming did an excellent job for the last 2 seasons for us, and has really between he and Coach O'Leary has done an excellent job of putting together game plans and captivating the kids, and obviously have been able to win a lot of ball games the last 2 years, and so we're really excited about the opportunity he has at the University of Rhode Island, and I think that what it's created, we've got a good staff with our defensive line coach, Coach Constantini, and with Coach Callahan, our DB's coach, and certainly, we lean on Coach O'Leary and his defensive background. But it's made everybody do a little bit more, certainly. But we're excited about the opportunity and really excited about being here in the Fiesta Bowl.
Who do you feel like Bryce played really well as a quarterback?
I think he does an excellent job, pre-snap as much as anything of knowing where the ball's going, and he does a good job throwing it like all good quarterbacks do. And I mentioned it earlier. He's got 2 interceptions on the entire year. That's an amazing stat. So obviously he's very intelligent and throws the ball well.
As a defensive coach, what were you like? Oh, come on! When you saw that you guys were playing Baylor in this bowl game.
We're excited about the opportunity. Whichever BCS bowl game that we wound up getting into, I think we were excited about, and whoever we were playing, we were going to be excited about. We've been very blessed this year to have a great season and have some good wins. And the exciting thing really that sometimes gets lost in this, what an awesome thing for our players, and what an awesome thing for Coach O'Leary to have kind of seen where the program's come in the last 10 years up under him. So I think that's the piece that you've got to sit there and reflect on more than anything.
How unique is what Baylor does offensively?
Certainly the tempo, how fast they are, and they've got good players, So I think that what they do is, they cause problems for a lot of different people. What they do, but the tempo is certainly there's a lot of teams go fast, but they're going to be faster.
And how about like the crazy splits and using the whole field? Is that very different from what you guys have seen?
It's different from what we've seen, no question.
How do you slow something like that down?
I think as much as anything, we've got to be we've got to worry about UCF as much as anybody, more so than probably worrying about the opponent all the time.
Is it a good challenge? I mean, you get to face statistically the #1 offense with the players. Are you guys excited about this?
No question, it's certainly a great challenge. And we've one of the guys mentioned it earlier. We've played a little bit of an underdog role all year. We're excited about the challenge that we've had, and we constantly kind of talk about there being 12 one-game seasons, and then hope for the opportunity to win the conference, and that's our ultimate team goal, and hope to be in a situation like this where you're in the Fiesta Bowl. So yes, it's been a challenge, but we're really excited about the opportunity, particularly on defense. I know our offensive guys are as well.
I was beating so hard, and I got my first start. So, but just to have that adrenaline rush, I'm sure it helped propel those guys, and they were so prepared by our coaching staff that it helped me, as a player who's played a little bit, and I have to worry about them too much and go out there and play my game. And when they did need a lend a hand, I was able to help it, give it to them. So I think that's the best part about it.
You guys have been in bowl games before. That's not a new experience. The preparation and how long it takes to get there. But do you think when you get under the lights of the Fiesta Bowl and you see that crowd and everything, and you look around and you say, "Oh my God, this is the BCS Bowl," you think that'll be different for you?
I think every game for us, is we get that moment, you get that feeling of rush, hearing the fans and everything, just being prepared. And I don't know about my other teammates, but for me, I look at this game as another opportunity for UCF to go out and put our brand, to the national stage, and that's what I look forward to. And I'm just so excited that we made it to this BCS bowl game, because we worked hard for it. This season, Coach told us we had to win the conference, which we did, and that's just what I look forward to. And just being able to see my mom being able to see me play one more game, this year, and my family and everything. So those things I look forward to, and trust me, I know us as a team, it's going to be electric out there, so I can't wait.
How surprised were you or impressed were you by Justin McDonald coming in late in the year? True freshman, came in as a safety, was on the show team the whole year, and steps in as linebacker and has performed pretty well.
Yeah, that just shows, Coach O'Leary's model. One guy go down, and that man got to step up. And like you said, a true freshman that was on a scout team, like literally how that sounds, and comes in and makes like 10 tackles with 3 for loss versus South Florida and a sack. Just stuff like that. It just shows how resilient of a squad we are, and just how good Coach O'Leary does with us as a team and our defensive staff.
When you guys are practicing or meeting, what have you guys been enjoying? You're staying at a beautiful resort. What are some of the flair activities in your downtime?
We've been having fun, in resort. We got a little basketball shootout, we've been playing games. I see who's the best at that, Justin McCray got the crown right now. Yeah, definitely. It's crazy. We got the crown, and we got video games and stuff like that, and then they let us travel around, Scottsdale. Went to Nike Town, which was real fun. Got me some shoes, back for the grid, some Christmas shoes, and just happy to be a part of this, just being out here having fun. We're also working hard. We work hard during practice and stuff. So it's just good to be a part of this Arizona community. They've taken us in, and we really enjoyed it. Oh, when they played Miami? Oh, I thought they did. I thought they played a great, fantastic game, and that shows, that gives us a little credibility to our win, definitely. They beat a good Miami team out of the ACC, and I think Teddy had a great game. They were going out there and they played great on defense. So all hands go up to Louisville in there because they had a great team, and I still remember that game when we played those guys. Those guys gave it to us every second of the game, and it was a battle. And I knew they were gonna go out there and play good. So that's another win for the AAC, and I appreciate what Louisville's done this year and how they've progress as a team also.
It does seem like it does reflect well on you guys if they go beat a team like that badly.
Right.
And you defeated them.
Yeah, yeah, it always helps, when a team that you beats another good team, especially a program like Miami, and it always helps you elevate your win stock. But we're looking past, not looking back, Louisville, get ready for this Baylor team, and we're happy for those guys. We know a lot of those guys because they're from Florida also. So, it's always good to see some of your close friends win. So, yeah.
Terrence Baylor's put up, almost 400 points in the first half this season. How important is a fast start?
Definitely, I always want to get started fast, as a team, get those 3 and outs that we always talk about, 3 and out, and help your team, get ready and stuff like that. So it gets the ball, offense in the ball hands so they can get their rhythm going. Football's a rhythm game too for those guys, offensive side. And defense is all about throwing people off the rhythm. So, that's what we got to do, just try to get a fast start like you said. That would be vital to helping us get this game.
Talking to Coach Summers, he was saying how, over time you become, film junkie and all this stuff. Take me through your development, from last year to this year. How have you developed as a player and what results are you seeing?
Well, last year, I was just stepping in, being a sophomore, and I feel like I devoted myself to the film room, but I didn't do it. It's like I didn't take notes of the game. I was just watching the film. I feel like this year, I'm able to, take our calls, literally put people where I need to be on the film, even though I can't really touch their players. Those guys are moving parts, but I can put them out there, and then I can literally look at a play now and then diagnose it and see how it's supposed to finish and how our defense should be able to finish it for a winning play. So I think that's where the development is coming, and hopefully by next year I'll be able to start calling out tendencies, start calling out formation sets, start calling out the different when they'll be running past, just based off looking at the film, and that's what I plan on doing. Just keep developing as a player. Keep getting better physically as well mentally.
Now, where did you learn the film habits? Is that from coaches, or is that something you just picked up from just studying more and more?
Just literally, my coaches helped me, pick up on the film, just how to watch it, how to do those type of things. But also just me being in there, just learning that if I learn what they're doing before they know what I'm doing, I can get an advantage. It's all about getting an advantage on the opponent. So that's one of the key things, just trying to get an advantage on the other opponent. That's what I've been able to do. Go in the film room and try just develop a better mind for the game. And I think I've done that.
Yeah, everybody talks about how fast Baylor goes, but with how fast Bryce gets the ball out,
Yeah.
is it really possible to get pressure on him, or is it you just gotta kind of hope he gets the pass opportunity?
No, it's always a way to get pressure. You got D-line has to win up front, and linebackers they dog they have to come. So you gotta be fast with it. The thing is, you gotta get your hands up in the pass rush lanes. If he's throwing it out fast and everything. So, it's always ways to get pressure. You just have to find a way to get it and get to the quarterback.
I was talking to Justin McCray yesterday, where he's taking me back to the summer when the standback got here, and he was saying he remembers his first practice in pass, and he ran over four guys.
Yeah.
So do you remember that time or that play?
Yes, I do. I was on the sideline because I think he was running with the twos or the threes, and they got stand back the ball in the flat, I believe, and he made a great move. And then like little four guys tried to hit him, and he ran straight through those guys. I was like, wow, this freshman's not looking like a freshman out here, man. And when you see those moments, you notice when you see those guys like those young guys make plays like that, they're ready to step up and try to help the team out, which is always good. No problem.
Terrence, have y'all seen team speed like Baylor has this year?
No, sir. We definitely haven't. We prepare for fastball too. We have teams that went fastball this year, but we haven't seen anything like Baylor. And the fact that they're so fast, getting lined up, and they do it with the run game also with the pass too. So we just got to get prepared. Work hard as a team. Make sure we know our assignments and get lined up.
Is that hard to prepare for, though? I mean, kind of trying to simulate it in practice or whatever?
Yeah, definitely. Just because the thing is, by the fourth play, you're a little tired, you're a little winded. So but it's all about mental discipline.
Yeah.
Being able to go over there as a team, and just be able to just get the call, get set, and read your keys. After that, it's just football. After that, after they hike the ball, so you can't really worry about how fast they're going, but just getting lined up and getting ready to get prepared for the play.
You guys obviously lost your defensive coordinator. How have y'all handled that?
It's been a transition. Coach Fleming's been with us the last 2 years, and I love Coach Fleming. He's been a great guy to me, helped me develop as a player, and to the man I am today, also off the field. But what Coach Leary always preaches is the next man down. The first somebody goes down, the next man got to step up, and that's what Coach Summers done a great job of. My linebacker coach, who's filling in as our defensive coordinator, and even Coach Leary, he's a defensive-minded coach. He's came over there and helped us out, during practice and everything. So, it's been a transition, but I think us as a defense, we handled it pretty well. And I think Coach Summers done a great job, leading us into this BCS bowl game.
It's kind of difference in styles, right? Coach O'Leary is a defensive guy, a defensive mastermind. Coach Pryles is an offensive genius. Is that kind of what this game is?
Yeah. I mean, I don't like to look at it like that, just the offensive defensive game, because I think our offense is pretty good and their defense is pretty well. They're both ranked in the top 25. So, what it's going to come down to, us executing on defense and offense, and Coach Browse is a great coach. You see the numbers they're putting up at Baylor, and Coach O'Leary definitely has his great background in defense. So, I'm sure it's going to be a great mind game, between those guys. But, us as players, we have to go out there and just worry about playing the game and the calls that we got allotted to us.
What was your reaction when you look at the numbers? Like below 624 yards, 53 points a game for Baylor's offense.
Yeah, those are great numbers. They lead the nation actually in those aspects. And they're a great team. They're so fast, so athletic, so disciplined and versatile. And the things that they do. And I just look at it as a great challenge. Going out there. I think every defensive player doesn't want to go against a bad offense, but a great offense. And try to go out there and put your wits against theirs and try to shut them out.
You see this as kind of an opportunity for this defense to prove themselves again?
Definitely. Every week I think is an opportunity to go prove yourself because it's the next game. And always when you have the next game, you want to go out there and prove that, you can play well against your opponent and always try to get the win because that's what it's about, playing well for your team and getting wins.
What stands out to you about this offense?
Just like I was telling you, the versatility. Bryce Petty can run the ball, he can pass the ball. Number 5, Antoine Gali, he can catch the ball, he can run the ball. They got guys who are burners out there, and great offensive line. I think Cyril Richardson was All-American this year. And it's the things that he does, his versatility. He's able to pull, pass block, reach block, and all those type of things. So they're very versatile and very athletic.
Does anything change for you guys as you move from one defensive coordinator to kind of an interim guy like this?
No, not really. Because everything is Coach O'Leary's defense. You just go out there and try to play the calls that we have. Because not much going to switch it up. Because even when Coach Fleming was here, he always taught us the same thing. Coach O'Leary taught us hard work, run to the football. And just be ready for your gap assignments and your defense assignments. So there's not much that's changed. It's a different guy calling it.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.